I would say nothing is impossible to crack, right? But the work factor is what you want to increase. Yeah. So if I can give the bad guys a harder, tougher, longer time
Yeah.
to crack my code or crack my password or break into my system, why not? Why do I want to make it easy for them? I mean, I'm doing my job to secure the organization. You also do your job to break it. You need to earn it if you're gonna break into my network. All these things we're doing right now, they are done by threat hunters, malware analysts, forensic analysts, SOC analysts, reverse engineers, all these things we're doing, right? Also remember, attackers can always, not always, the good ones, good attackers know how to clear the tracks in such a way that they can clear logs, clear registry entries, and a couple of other things, right? But something they would find really difficult to clear, if they can even clear it at all, is packets, right? So packets don't lie. Logs can lie, registry entries can lie, but packets do not lie. If it's showing it, then it happened.
Okay.
If it's showing it, then it passed through the wire. If it's showing it, it passed through my Wi-Fi. If it's showing it, it passed through my Ethernet. If it's showing it, whatever interfaces
Yeah.
I'm investigating or I'm engaging with on my Wireshark, if it's
Yeah.
showing me something happened, if it's showing me capture the packet, then best believe something happened. Wireshark cannot generate its own packets, right?
Understood. Yes, sir.
And it cannot delete its own packets.
Yeah.
But guess what? With logs, scripts can delete the logs after the fact. Registry entries can be modified, deleted, or even deceived, manipulated. Wireshark will capture what happened, but steganography is still possible.
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean? Steganography is still possible in the sense that, yes, Wireshark is going to capture that a file was also sent into the network. And of course, everything is broken down into packets, remember?
Yeah.
It's also going to capture that file. So let's say it's a picture. It
Okay.
shows a picture was sent into the network. John Cena .jpg was sent into the network. And then you see that file was received, but you're not expecting a picture, or let's say just even look suspicious to you for any reason. If you right click and you follow the TCP stream, or you click on it, you investigate further, and you see the kind of file it is, bear in mind, do not extract a file you're not sure about into your actual system, because you may be extracting malware.
Yes, sir.
And if you execute it, it may trigger the malware, and then
My system.
you're pawned or you're owned, right? So you want to avoid exporting or extracting files from your Wireshark or from your packet capture into your actual system unless you're in a sandboxed environment.
Okay.
Even still, you need to be careful. But this is where things like you investigate in Wireshark first. Look at the file signature, right? You can get the file signature in Wireshark. The file signature will let you know, is this really a PNG? Is this really a picture? So if it's a picture, you will see the file signature, the file header, FFD at FF. Or if you see something like MZ instead as the file header, then you know this is definitely not a JPG file. It is an executable, because MZ is the file signature, the file header for executables, .exe files, right? So if you see that, even in Wireshark, you know, I dare not export this file out of my packet capture out of Wireshark, because this is not a JPG. So this is steganography. The attacker has gone extra length to hide something, to hide an executable inside the JPG, so it can also pass through my network easily. So Wireshark may not flag it up as something is wrong, but this is where your job also would come in as an analyst, an investigator, a threat hunter, to know that this is not normal. And because I know the file signature that was supposed to be for a JPEG, and this is not the file signature I'm expecting for a JPEG, there must be something up with this picture. So then what do? There are lots of things you can then do. You can either then send the packet, not the file. Send the captured packets to the reverse engineer. Or if you can do the reverse engineering yourself, take that into your sandbox environment, use a disassembler like Ghidra Pro or IDA, right? And then check what is inside the file, check what the malware does, try to see what it can do. But me already seeing the MZ, makes me know it is an executable. So definitely it's not a picture. Because it's easy and clever, it's possible to change the extension, to change the file extension, but changing the file signature is tricky. So it's like I can change my surname easily, right? I can also change my name easily, but changing my DNA, I wouldn't say it's impossible because I'm not sure what's happening in biology right now. Lots of weird stuff are going on in biology right now. Let's not even go about it. 2020 taught all of us a lesson. But yeah, so it's like I can change my name easily, but I can't change my DNA easily, right? Which is why they can also easily know who the father of a child is. Because you can change the face, do surgery, change many things. Even palm print, palm scan, thumbprint can be modified. You can use it to deceive a system, right? But when it comes to your DNA, it's harder to change. So the same with file signatures. So think of the file signature as the DNA of the file. You can change the name, change the surname, change the extension, whatever, but that DNA, the file signature, is harder to change. So then if I see the file signature belongs to a different type of family or a different person, or does not belong to whoever they are presenting themselves to be, then I know it's obviously a lie.
Something's up.
Yeah, there's something not connecting. There's a dot not connecting somewhere. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's how it is. So Wireshark is a powerful tool, but you need to know what you're looking for because it will not always tell you what is wrong. The same with your IDS and IPS. It's not all the time that they are right. They are not perfect systems. Exactly. But sometimes they won't alert you. They would only alert you on the things they recognize as threats or malware. It depends. So if it's signature based, if it's signature based or anomaly based, regardless, they may not alert you on everything still, right? And even online tools or online sources like VirusTool tool and some other analysis tools would not pick up certain malware, right? Because for some of them, there's a limit of file size that they can analyze, right? Which is another clever trick hackers use or malware experts use to avoid detection because they know, oh, this person might want to drop the file in VirusTool tool or any other analyzer. So what they do is they add extra bits to the file. So it can increase the size of the file, but there's nothing in those segments of the file, right? It's empty, but they've filled it with bits to increase the size. So the actual payload or the actual whatever they want you to execute is just a tiny portion of the code of the file, right? But they filled the rest of the file with extra bits that are unnecessary to buff up the file. And the reason they are doing that is because if they left the file as just the payload, it would be easy for the analyzers to pick it up and say this is a virus, this is a malware, this is a Trojan, and all those kind of stuff. This is a rootkit. Yes, or because of the behavior, because of the pattern of several reasons, depending on the kind of engine. But if they buff it up to the point where it's slightly above what the analyzers can process, even though it's empty, if you drop that file into the analyzers can't process them. So then you don't know if it's malware or not because the analyzers can't process them. It's above the threshold of what they can process, even though it's empty. So which is another place you can use things like FTK Imager or even Hex Editor, right? You can use Hex Editor or Hex Viewer to view the hexadecimal portion of the file and see where does the file content really end, where does it stop. If the rest of the file is just empty, then I know there's a reason they've tried to buff it up. And if it goes above 600 and something MB or whatever the limit or the threshold is, then I know they've done that on purpose so the analyzers would not pick it up as malware or as a virus, as a threat, as a Trojan or whatever.